This patient, for example, told me everything that was happening in the emergency room at that moment. And I was surprised because she told me there was this person, she knew them, I already told you it was a blood, she was in urgent resuscitation, this, such. And the emergency operating rooms, which were far from where she was. In the resuscitation room, she told me the trauma team was operating on a neck of femur fracture. When I finished, I was so surprised because she told me everything in detail that I went to the emergency room, I checked computers, and I talked with the staff, and exactly what she told me. When her body was dead on the stretcher and I was resuscitating her, is what was happening in the emergency room, and it's not my case. Take the world biography, it's full of these cases. There are cases as anecdotal as a patient who is being resuscitated in the United States and recounted, certified what was happening at that moment, with all kinds of details, what happened in Australia, in the Antipodes. There is a transfer of information independent of time, it is at the same moment, and of space. Distance doesn't matter to them when they are in the astral dimension. This has nothing to do with hallucination. These are objective proofs. And I have more objective proofs that I can give you. Functional magnetic resonances have been performed on these patients. And while they were undergoing functional magnetic resonance, they were asked to describe in full detail their near-death experience. And it was observed that parts of the brain were activated. But what caught the attention, and I'm not the one saying this, it's the neuroradiologists and neurologists, experts in neuroscience. I am a surgeon, I don't understand this. When he mentioned an object that he had seen and found interesting during the near-death experience at a distance from where his body was, upon mentioning it in the functional magnetic resonance, the occipital lobe was activated. In the occipital lobe is where we have the neurons, the area of the brain that interprets our vision. We see, because an image enters us in the form of light photons. Through the pupil, onto our retina, in the macula, the image is produced inverted, and through the optic nerve, in the form of electromagnetic waves, it reaches the occipital lobe, and the occipital lobe interprets the image. You now see me, your occipital lobe is interpreting my image. When you see an image, I imagine you have a visual memory of me, because we've been together for a long time, talking here. So, I will condition memory in your occipital lobe, and today we know who produces it, some special neurons called mirror neurons.